Hey, hello, and welcome to another video. Long time no posting, long time no news from us. I just wanted to upload this video. It's just some freestyle sculpting, starting with some cubes and spheres, nothing fancy. But yeah, I thought it could be cool to show a bit just the process for these little fun sculptures. This was done without references, so it's a bit uh, far from perfect, but still, it was a lot of fun. So maybe someone finds this either interesting or hopefully inspiring or whatever. So yeah, in here you can just see me blocking shapes using mostly the move brush and the clay build-up brush in Zbrush, and also the using the dam standard or the Geo Soft brush, I think it's called, which is great. So yeah, just basically refining the big shapes, the big forms, trying to give a nice gesture already early on the stage. At this stage, I keep the head separated because it just makes things easier for me. But yeah, you can see me there refining legs, giving the thickness I want. Something I didn't do was adding the hands at this stage, and I think that's a mistake on my side. But yeah, it's too late now. So yeah, see me there refining those forearms, trying to add where the elbow should be. Is a nice important landmark on the elbow, so lots of the muscles attached over the elbow and under the elbow, so um, it's great having it in place. Yeah, and same old, just refining big volumes, um, trying to adjust the pose on the arm, trying to find the right thickness for all the elements. Again, this is just freestyling, so it's not a lot of reference for me to check in this case. Trying to give a bit of a more organic shape there in the arm. Forearms are always so difficult, at least for me. So yeah, trying to get that out of the way for now. Defining where those again the elbow bends and where those points are. I'm trying to define a bit the line of the back to see how it bends. Notice as well that the model is quite low res. I tend to work in a fairly low res mesh. I don't like to have like lots of polygons. It makes everything a bit clunkier and it's just a bit annoying. So yeah, I keep it fairly low res, just high enough for me to have some polygons to work with, but not too high. And then yeah, defining a bit the planes of the back in there, where that shoulder blade, scapula is, and those collarbones as well, where they should be more or less. Again, more or less because yeah, I'm just improvising this a bit as I go. Defining where the shoulder attaches to the arm as well. And yeah, starting to work on the face. For the face, I did have a little picture, only one picture though, but it was a very small picture. I couldn't see well what was happening, so I'm sort of improvising it as well. I keep the face symmetrical and I pose the body, and it's just a faster way for me to work on the face, at least to get the main shapes and the main forms in there. That is how I use like big brushes, and I like to define like the planes. Um, I'll say that's the way that works best for me in terms of modeling. It's just defining big chunks of planes. Yeah, everything is very blocky and very square and very sharp. But it's the way it works for me. It makes me see the shapes a lot better and realize, what's working and what's not working. adjusting proportions and adjusting masses and volumes in there. Trying to judge from that one picture that I had. Adding some spheres for the breast tissue in there. And then just using Dynamesh in ZBrush, I'll merge everything together and start blending those and giving them some weight and gravity. Make them look a bit more natural. Keep working on the tummy. You can see me jumping all over the place from one area to the other one. I don't like to be stuck in one single area. I like to keep working on everything at the same time. And then in here, I already merged the face and the head with the body so that I can work on that integration a bit better. And yeah, again, it's always the same move brush, clay buildup, damp standard, and the smooth. And that's it, really. Trying to get that expression right and the shape of the nose and the eyelids, that's always tricky. Faces are just tricky. Everything is tricky, to be honest with you. I always, find everything quite tricky. Not just faces or not just hands or bags or arms. Everything, I think everything is difficult. Trying to slowly refine that and make it look more realistic and more human. Adding a bun in there, sort of shaping the ears, get the right proportions. Trying to add a glimpse of a hand in there, just using a couple of cubes. Nothing fancy, readjusting the length on that arm. And then, yeah, you'll see me changing things all over the place constantly because, yeah, it's always rebalancing, readjusting. Some hints of a haircut in there and trying to make a proper neck in there. I tried using like an alpha for the brush to make it more like a rake brush. I do that sometimes. I like the feeling. It's similar. It's quite similar to the real thing. So yeah, giving a nicer expression in there, refining, still working on bigger shapes, changing my mind about the hairstyle. And then just a little ponytail in there. And finally tackling that leg as well, which it's quite left behind. Lots of problems with the pose and the gesture that I'll keep addressing through the whole video. It's just unsure on how things um, were looking and just keep changing things. Readjusting, reevaluating constantly the whole thing, and yeah, seeing lots of problems here and there and trying to address everything. Hinting also the feet. Um, yeah, ideally, you may want to model everything together, not like I did in here. I should have done that in a different way. But well, that's the beauty of ZBrush. It just lets you merge and move things around and shift things around. So I guess it's not too bad. But yeah, ideally, I would like to for the next one to do it all in one piece, straight right from the beginning. working on that leg and that is holding all the weight, trying to give it a nice balance and a nice gesture there. Rotating a bit more and trying to add a bit more of a pose on the body. Defining the line of the bag is going to give you a nice shape in there. And again, don't do like me and just I think it's a good idea to always use references. It's all obviously fun to do without references. Uh, Sometimes I work like blindly without references, and then later on I'll decide to look for some references, and then I'm like, oh wow, I was really off with everything actually. So it's always a good idea to use references. So yeah, don't do like me. Smoothing and still refining shapes on the face and defining and refining and adding more and more planes. Every time smaller and smaller planes to define those shapes. Still unhappy with a lot of things and yeah, constantly tweaking and changing things. Just masking some eyebrows in there just to see it with some eyebrows as well. Going back to those left behind feet and just copying it over the other leg. And finally start tackling that leg as well, which is way off. I had a lot of issues with that leg and I wasn't happy with that pose, and you will see me changing it a few times until I get something that I'm happier with. And to make her look happy, joyful expression on her face. Try and refine that anatomy in there in the knee. It's tricky. Lots of things happening there. You have the bones of the leg and the patella and the fat underneath the patella, and yeah, it's a complicated area. At least for me, when I say things like that, I don't mean for everybody. It's always, for me. I'm talking from my own experience. Reassessing the volumes in the thighs, making sure that they're similar size as well. And again, you see going back to the face and constantly jumping from one place to the other one. I think I like to work in that way so that at any point the whole model is brought up at the same level of polished. So that at any time I can go like, okay, I'm done with it. It's not very refined, but at least everything is at the same level. I don't tend to focus on just one area for too long. Um, I'm not a big fan of detailing. As much fun as some people have doing like crazy details on their models, it's just something that bores me to death. And yeah, everything is quite raw and fast for me. And yeah, I keep my sculptures like that as well. I think I just hate doing details. Work on the feet again. Finally merge them together with the model. and working on that transition from feet to leg. Adjusting sizes. Yeah, constant tweaking, constant tweaking. Lots of mistakes. That's the beauty of recording the whole process. You will see me as well doing so many mistakes and then having to fix them, and it's just real world example, right? A lot of things happening in the legs, lots of muscles attaching to the lower leg. Not easy. Still like a very neutral pose, and I think at some point I may change it and make it a bit more, slightly more forced. Constantly readjusting proportions as well. It's something that, it's non-stop fixing and readjusting. So thank you for watching. Hopefully you made it through the end. I know it's a bit of a long video, but I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more parts coming. And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It would really help the channel grow. And yeah, stay tuned for more. Thank you.